All my dogs 100. Stereo on 100. In the club blowing hundreds. Gotta get this money. 100. All I know is 100.
It's Dario on the channel where we keep it 100. And today, we got something different. This weird ass nigga. Hey, we got top 10 scary signs you're dating a psychopath. That's right. So, Pete, y'all stay tuned. I'm going to let y'all know how to figure out if y'all with somebody crazy. If so, you got to get ghost. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to end up on, what's that show called? What's that show called with the crazy women? Snapped. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, y'all know niggas be crazy. Anywho, let's get into it.
The crazy thing is that this happens all the time. When people go back and look at the cases of serial killers, a lot of them had an active love life. Some of them even had families. We like to think that they would all be in a basement of some rundown house, coming up with some plan to stalk and kidnap their next victim, but many of them are so good at hiding their evil ways that they blend right in. Well, I'm sure that there's something off about them. Hello, Most Amazing Top 10 family. I'm your host, Cheda Reyna, and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Today, I'm going to let you know how you can be on the lookout for people trying to turn you into a skin suit with this list of top 10 scary signs you're dating a psychopath. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell, and stick around for the whole list because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. Without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10, we have the impulsive behavior. Now, just because your spouse wants to go on a nice trip somewhere without really thinking it through doesn't mean that they're going to try and kill you or that they're a basket case. Just check to see if they pack a shovel and some rubber gloves in their suitcase. But psychopaths will tend to do things without thinking about the consequences because they have trouble feeling any sort of empathy towards people. So if the person you're dating did something super out of character that hurts someone else and only feels bad once they realize that everyone else is shocked and appalled, then you might have to watch out. Now, if this is their normal behavior, then what on earth are you doing with this person? You deserve better and you should move on. Coming in at number 10 with overly charismatic. Have you ever wanted to walk up to someone and spark up a conversation? Maybe you think they're cute or you hear they have some of the same interests as you, and then you go up to them and you want to talk to them, but you're very nervous. Well, this is normal behavior because it can be very intimidating to approach someone. But a psychopath won't have this same fear. They don't see or care about the consequences, and they can find it super easy to talk to people because a social interaction does not intimidate them. Because for a psychopath, there's no social ramifications for this. The only risk is not manipulating the person. They don't care about...
So that's the people who don't care about getting turned down, don't care about hearing no, none of that. They just, you know what I'm saying? They just go. They don't go. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all know some overly confident people, you know what I'm saying? You might have to watch them. Everybody's scared of something or fear something. You know what I mean? These the 100% brave heart niggas. You know.
If the person dislikes them. Also, a psychopath might spend a good chunk of time watching you from afar or even studying you beforehand, maybe through social media. So this background knowledge on you and the lack of fear might make them seem like a Pied Piper for your heart, but they're really just a master manipulator. Coming in at number 8, we have emotionally detached. Are you dating someone who really doesn't like to talk about their feelings? And not in a way that's just like some guy being stubborn, but more in a way where it seems like they don't even have feelings to talk about.
So like
when
a cold person.
Your feelings does the same thing.
I know a couple people like that.
No idea what you're trying to describe to them. Psychopaths often don't understand emotion. This will leave them in a state where they have to constantly fake feelings. A good way to tell this is through their friend group. Does it seem like they have deep, honest connections with anyone around them, or do they just have superficial, surface-level relationships? Coming in at number 7, we have a massive ego. We can all get egotistical at times. It's just human nature. But for a psychopath, this will be to the point where their ego is out of control. They will constantly talk about how great they are, and they will be a massive narcissist. You should watch out for people who are constantly correcting other people, even when it turns out they are often wrong.
Hey, I used to be like that, but I wasn't often wrong. You know what I mean? I was right, but it was like not in a good way, I guess. Like at the expense of somebody else. I don't know how to explain it. It was like I was right, and when I proved that I was right, it was like a problem. You know what I mean? Like nigga, okay, you right, whatever. But me, I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was taking that shit to the max. Like, like I said, that used to be me. You know what I mean? People change.
They might not be able to admit when they've made a mistake and will get angry if you try to correct them. Coming in at number 6, we have manipulative. This is probably what they do best. You know how throughout the day you probably think
every
about how
woman.
you want to eat lunch, maybe what movie you want to see on the weekend. Well, a psychopath is constantly thinking about how to take advantage of you. See how it can be easy to fall victim to someone like that when you're not looking for it? Because unless you have your guard up at all times, they'll probably get through. If you're with someone and they do something horrible, say steal from you or cheat on you, and they somehow find a way to twist it around and make it
flip it,
your fault,
you gotta watch niggas like this.
who has a lot of problems and could be a psychopath. I think a lot of people out there could look back on previous relationships and put the pieces back together and be like, oh yeah, that person was crazy. A good way to tell whether or not you're dating someone who is manipulative is how they act around other people. Do they change their personalities around different groups and try to sway the public in their favor? It's time to get our psychopath inspection hats on. Coming in at number 5, we have compulsive liars. Something that psychopaths love is control. They want to know that they are dictating the whole situation and can force people to do what they want without other people knowing. They might do this by lying all the time. This is a tool they can use to manipulate you. They'll be lying to you so they can get what they want out of you. Or they might have a bigger plan in motion that you are completely unaware of, and they want to work you into said plan. But they also might lie about very trivial things that really make no sense and you would never think are lies. This also gives them the feeling of control over you, like they can trick you and get the upper hand. They might also say these trivial lies to see if you can easily be fooled. If you ever catch someone doing something like this, they might just be playing a little prank on you, but it wouldn't be a bad idea
trying
to
to test
start
the
paying
waters.
close attention to what they're doing.
Yeah, they trying to see if you
on
to them.
You're always breaking the law. I mean, who doesn't love a bad boy? It's one of the fundamental truths of the universe. Bad boys are hot as hell, and we all want to ride off into the sunset with them on the back of a motorcycle. Well, it turns out that this bad boy could also be insane and put your life at risk. Psychopaths have a tendency to break the law. This goes in line with them wanting to be in control all the time. Not only do they want to control, they don't want to feel like they can be controlled, so they see authority as a direct challenge to their power. It might seem like something small.
I remember that
Maybe
movie. That shit, American Psycho. That shit crazy.
They don't need it. Or maybe they get overly confrontational with any form of authority and try to outsmart them. This is because deep down they feel that they are smarter than everyone and that the law doesn't apply to them. They feel that they are above the rules that we have made because they are of a higher class of person. Coming in at number 3, we have they crave stimulation. Not in a gross way, you filthy animals. I'm talking about like TV and movies and people. It seems that psychopaths can never be satisfied by just sitting around and relaxing. They need to have an influx of information at all times. This is often because they can't calm their thoughts. They are always thinking and their brains don't have an off switch. This could also be because they don't like the feeling of anyone else getting ahead of them. Now there are a lot of other disorders that can stimulate the same kind of behavior, so just a craving for stimulation doesn't necessarily mean that the person is a psychopath.
I'm like, damn,
So
that sound like me. I'm looking around.
We're quite a ways down the list so far, so basically you should be...
I love like brain stimulation, like knowledge, and you know what I'm saying, just reading and learning new things. And I'm like, is he talking about me? Like, but I got some chill in me. I'm just saying, like, why just sit around all day if you can be learning something? You know what I mean?
Yourself, does the person I date do a lot of the things that this guy on YouTube has mentioned? Because maybe it's time to find a new partner. Coming in number 2 is promiscuity. Cue the song Promiscuous Girl by Nelly Furtado featuring Timbaland. Remember what Miss Furtado was like before she got linked up with Timbaland? She was all like singing about birds, and she was kind of like this fun, hippie Canadian girl. And then they made her super sexual, which was one of the best rebrand deals of all time. Well, let's get back on track. A psychopath will love to have multiple sexual partners, and this is for a lot of reasons that we have already covered, but let me put them into the context of sex. Every time a psychopath can convince someone to have sex with them, they will see this as a certain level of control. They have now seduced this person, thus making them feel that they have some sort of intellectual advantage over them. Another facet of this is that a psychopath has trouble making deep connections with people, so they can find it hard to have a long-term relationship. When they have a bunch of people to have sex with, they can float at the surface level of connection and never need to dig for anything deeper. And finally, a psychopath usually wants something from a person, so the more people they have engaged, the more people they can get stuff from. And coming in at number 1, we have they will never apologize. I mean, let's be honest, I know a lot of people like this. this.
Me too.
I bet a lot of people watching this video can find
Or like they say sorry, but it's never like
still do it.
genuine.
Yeah,
it's like
DNA to say sorry every time we make eye contact with a living creature. But for Psychopath, this is really the cherry on the sundae, because for them, this is more than just about apologizing. This is also admitting that they were wrong. So if they apologize,
and they can't do this.
Superior to the other people around them, which is a major part of their personality. It's harder to lie all the time if you apologize, because they might feel that it's harder to convince people of their lies. If they apologize, they will most likely take a hit on their massive ego, which their psyche will not be able to handle. And psychopaths usually perceive an apology as a sign of weakness in others, and they want to control and feel charismatic, which they feel they might lose with a simple "I'm sorry." Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as promised,
Hey, low key, I know a lot of people who fit like the description of more than half of this. I need to disconnect myself from these people. This boy got me thinking. Anywho, hey, that wraps up the video for today. Top 10 scary signs you're dating a psychopath. Again, if you are dating someone with, let me see, we gonna round down up 5 or more of these signs, you need to, you know what I'm saying, just cut ties, you know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and go. But anywho, in the meantime, in between time, keep it 100.
And there he'll go crazy.